Don't we love technology? I've been working with it all morning. Okay. So my name is Charity. I'm a senior presidential director with Lifewave. I love Lifewave. I love the gifts we've been given. We've been given two gifts, not only with the technology, but with a phenomenal business opportunity. So we're going to talk about business today. We're going to talk about basically the foundational things that we do every day. What I love about this is Onyx put together a system 4 years ago when she came in. It's the same system I use today. And everyone that keeps focused, that keeps on track, they are building a huge organization, and we know it works. And the greatest thing about this is we do not have to sit at our computers and figure out what we have to come up with next, what we have to do. We just keep doing the simple things of activity and duplication and helping people and building our structure. And it's building managers. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go over some of the trips, because we want to make sure that everybody understands how to qualify. And Onyx has asked me to go over this with everyone. So here, I'm going to just say this up front. You may not like to travel. A lot of us love to travel. I love it when I get to go on trips and cruises and everything is paid. Let me tell you, when all your expenses are paid for, it is really fun to travel that way. So, or maybe you have not and you have an opportunity to. So you're going to see that this is so crazy easy to get on these trips. It's really cool. So we want to make sure everybody understands. So I'm going to share my screen and we are going to get started. All right. So as you all know, and you should have received this in your email. If not, go dig around and look in your spam or trash, because it's probably in there somewhere. Let me just get this stuff out of my way. So the first trip is the regional incentive trip. Now, this trip, it's going to be for all brand partners. And if you're in Europe or Asia, then of course you get to go to these two places. And those of us in North America, we're going to go to Cancun. Now, but the qualifications are going to be the same. Okay. So let's make sure you're all sitting down, because you're going to go, oh my gosh, seriously? So this trip is based upon points, except if you are not a senior director yet. So the points have already started. So this qualification period started October 2nd. So we've already been in it a month. So if you think about all of the things that you've done, when I talk to you in a minute about the points, we have till February 4th. So here's how it is. If you were not a senior director as of October 1st, all you need to do is get to senior director, hold that for 6 weeks during the qualification period, and you will get a trip for 2. That is very easy to do. You know, people do that literally within a couple weeks, and we have our 90 days to senior director, right? So senior director, we're going to tell you how to do that. But that's all you need to do. Now, if you are already a senior director or above before October 2nd, then we're going to earn it by points. And our points add up every time we do one of these activities. And so they're just going to keep piling up. And corporate is coming out. We will soon see it in our back office, where we can be tracking our points, and it'll be showing us how many points we have already earned. So your goal, because you don't want to travel by yourself, right, is to get 75 points. And we are going to get those points by personally enrolling silvers, golds, and diamonds brand partners. You're going to get points for each of those. You're going to get points for personally enrolled PC or PC pluses. Here are the qualifications. And if you're brand new, when you rank to manager, you get 2 points. Then when you rank to director, you get 4 more points. And do you see how easy these points start adding up? But again, get to senior director, and the trip's free for you. And then also, when you're helping your team rank to those levels, manager, director, senior director, all of those, you also get points. So that is how you earn this Cancun trip. And now remember, keep this in mind, that you need to maintain that rank as a senior director for 6 weeks during the qualification period. So what does that mean? So you need to pay attention to your calendar. And I'm going to go look at mine real quick because I don't have that date written down. So as of, you need to have everything finished by February 4th. So you need to back it up 6 weeks to make sure that you are a senior director by, let's just go back and find out when it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So you need to be a senior director by the January 7th. Okay. That will let you, now make sure I held that right for 6 weeks. I think I only counted 4. So hang on, I need to back that up. Let me just look at this real quick. February 4th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm sorry, I said that wrong because it's 6 weeks, not 4. So it is the end of December, the 29th. And I think that's correct now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm looking at a little tiny calendar. I apologize here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So by the end of January or December 24th, you need to be a senior director. All right. That will give you 6 weeks to maintain senior director. In other words, you have to keep that structure for 6 weeks and be paid as a senior director. And then you'll be on this trip. So that is easy to do because all senior director is, this is all it is. I'm going to show you. Let's go here. Whoops, that's not the right one. This is a senior director. You have a director on your left, a director on your right, and you do not have to have them both on your left and the right. They could be one leg, but that's your structure. Okay, we'll talk about that in a little bit, more about that in a little bit. That is how you earn the trip. You'll have 10,000 points in your unilevel volume. That should not be a problem when you get to this level. So anyway, that's the first trip. Everyone on this call can go. It gets really exciting. All right. So the second trip is, now they are doing 2 trips this year because it's the 20th anniversary. And if you all heard David this week on the call that he did with everyone, he, gives us, he always gives us little clues, doesn't he? We listen to what he says. Anyway, so they're doing a special 20th anniversary leadership trip. This is a cruise to the Greek islands. Now, again, if trips don't excite you, earn them anyway, because if you earn the trips, do you know how big your business will be? It's very, very, very exciting. So 20th anniversary incentive trip to the Greek islands. You do have to be an executive director or above. Now, if you just went for that Cancun trip, senior director, again, what do we know? Everything after senior director is all about points. And usually when you have one director, you have 2 directors now working with you, you're locked arms, you're doing that duplicatable system, the 331 that Onyx taught us, and we're just helping people and we're getting the word out. Usually when you are senior director, it's usually, if you don't go immediately to executive because of the points and the volume that's happening in your team, it usually is a couple weeks and you'll get there. And it's just simply consistent activity. It's no different if you had a brick and mortar building and you opened your doors. You would need consistent activity coming through that door. You want new clients coming through that door so that you can grow a bigger business, help more people, get the word out, etc., etc. So you do need to be an executive director or above. So I'm just going to use this platform here. Now, everyone, if you're already an existing executive director, presidential director, executive senior presidential director, of course, qualifications are going to be a titch different, but you can read them and see what they are. But let's say that you are not an executive director. And again, this trip started October 2nd, so it's kind of overlaying, and it goes through June 2nd of next year. Yes, this cruise is next year also. Okay, so to be qualified, you have to be an executive director above, existing or new. And then here's how you're going to qualify. Now, you need to pay attention to this. And I would encourage you to print off these little FAQs so you can make your notes and you can track on your calendar, okay? But you need to maintain executive director, that structure, for 16 weeks during the qualification period. Now, that does not have to be consecutive. In other words, if you missed 1 week that your structure, you're building and you're just getting it really solid, and 1 week you didn't hold that rank, you're okay. It doesn't have to be every week for 16 without a break, okay? So make sure, once again, you go back and you back up June 2nd, you back up for 16 weeks in that time frame, so you make sure that you are qualified as a new executive director, and then you have the 16 weeks to qualify, and that's 3 months. I think that lands you out in February. So all you needed to do is develop one director and I would suggest one leg. But again, if you don't have them in both your left and right leg, you're okay, because you can get to senior director with 2 directors in one leg. Okay. But to open the pay doors, you want one on your left and one on your right. Okay. Now, if you had a director before October 2nd, so that you signed up Sally Sue and Sally was a director before October 2nd, you would have to go get a new director. Okay. So you're going to have to find 2 directors in this qualification period that you have personally sponsored or is underneath that personally sponsored person, and get them to director. Now you're going to see, we know how easy this is to get to senior director or a director. Okay. So let's first talk about your first generation. This is what that means. So we have one leg that comes from our sponsor, right? We have all these people that come down. We have no idea who they are. We don't know where they came from. There are nobody that the people that we sponsored signed up, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Those, if they go to director, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about your personally enrolled teams. Your personally enrolled teams on your left and your right, because we both work both legs, okay? So I sign up, and I'm just going to use initials because it's easier. I sign up A signs up B signs up C. It can go all these levels deep, right? Because all of those B, C, D, E, all those people are connected to A who I signed up. I can help anybody underneath A. I can help A or anybody underneath there to get to director. All right. That's pretty awesome, because maybe you signed up somebody. I signed up Sally, and Sally really doesn't want to do the business, or she just wants, maybe she's just looking for a couple people a month to pay for her patches, which is wonderful. But she finds somebody that she signed up that really wants to do the business. You could grab that person and work with them. And because that person is under the person you personally sponsored, that can be one of your directors you develop. Okay. Now, you cannot have both of those underneath Sally. So Sally, we help someone from Sally on down become director, and then we need to go over here and help Bob or Bill or Mary with somebody in another personally sponsored organization that you've personally sponsored. And when you develop 2 of those, hold it for 16 weeks. And also those directors, those new directors need to hold it for 4 weeks, and it doesn't have to be consecutive. You are going to earn this trip. And this is going to be a really awesome trip. And again, if you're already executive director, then you'll have to just, the rank is different for each level. So I encourage you to print this off, make notes, get your calendar out so so that you can stay on track to what it is that you need to have completed by for your qualifications, for all of that. All right. And then get your map in place. Now, what does our maps look like? All right. So let's go back to, and you can find this, guess where we can find it? Out on Build 331 under Well, I'll just show you. Let's just go show you real quick where we can find it. Build 331, and you open up menu and you go down to compensation plan, scroll down to the bottom. Here is the download the PDF. These are your roadmaps. So print them off. Everybody you are helping, make sure they have their roadmap, because people don't know the road. They don't know how to get from point A to point B. So we need to help them. So if we go back to our roadmap, and we know, as Onyx always tells us, and we know this is true, this business is built on managers. The more managers you can make, the greater your business is going to be, right? Now, you will have people that are just fine at managers, and we love and we want to help every one of them. But you're also going to have people that want to go be, they need a little bit more money, or they're looking for another stream of income. And so we're going to help them become, the next roadmap is they're going to continue to keep doing step one, because even though we've made manager, we're going to keep sponsoring. And I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. But the second thing then is director. We want to help them become the director. This right here, y'all, is what's going to get you that first trip. It's that easy. We find someone on their left, someone on their right that wants to become a manager, and we keep sponsoring. When I seen this 2.5 years ago, and they showed me this, because I didn't know what I had done the first 2 weeks. I had no idea. I ranked. I didn't know, have a clue, didn't care, was because I wasn't going to do this business. And they came back and I said, okay, show me the business. And they showed me this, what I have in front of you right now. I could not believe what I was seeing, because I worked in another network marketing business, and I tell you, it was like we had to do, basically we're working on four different legs, and it was so much that we had to do. And I seen this and I said, are you kidding me? That's all that we have to do is build managers, help people get to manager? When some of you, when you get that compensation plan and the lights go on, you're like, oh my goodness, the gift we have given, you will not be able to sleep. I could not sleep for days because I could not believe I had just realized the second gift that I was given that I'd finally figured out. So managers, that's what we help. And again, you're going to have some people just be fine, and it's going to pay for their patches, and it's going to make a difference in their life. But we're looking for the ones that are also wanting to build a huge organization. We're on the cutting edge, and we barely even scratched the surface. Now, so this is your roadmap. Print it out. And listen, do you know what? When I get these done, I print another set out. Now, I'm always working on sponsoring people, right? But I print these out again. And even though I may have senior presidential directors on my leg, I'm going to go back and help some more people. And when it keeps you in front of you, when this keeps in front of you, it is amazing what can be done. The other thing is, when you have everything but three, you have 3 circles filled in and you need one more. It's kind of interesting how someone may just come across your path, or someone that you have not talked to in years calls you, and you start talking, and guess what? They want the patches. It's just amazing how that kind of stuff happens all the time. So your roadmap, print your roadmap out, keep it in front of you. You know what? I fill mine out in pencil, because sometimes I'll put up here, John's, he's got some interest, but then, maybe he has to move across the country, and it's not going to work out for him right now. But I find another person, and then I'll put him in there. And this is how you build, and this is how you're going to get the trips. So again, what I love about this is, again, I've done nothing different than what I have done. They've told me to when I came in 2.5 years ago. I just kept it simple. And the other thing that I love is that 2020 vision. What does that mean? Well, oops, wrong way. Here's our 2020 vision, our 90-day goal. We just keep sponsoring people on our left and our right. Is one leg stronger or better than the other? No, we have two legs. You know what? Your one leg that comes from your sponsor, you might think, oh my gosh, this is my strongest leg. But you know, that could flip literally overnight or in a week. I have seen it happen. It has happened to me. The leg that comes from my sponsor has been my weakest leg for many, many months. And then within 1 week, it flipped. And now I'm working, you know, just really focusing on helping that other leg and get back, and it'll flip again. And that's how it works. So 2020 vision, 20 personal sponsors on the left, 20 personal sponsors on the right. Then what do I do when I get this done? I do it again. We do it again. That's how you remember, if you had a brick and mortar building, if you had a brick and mortar business, you wouldn't just stop at 40 people coming through those doors, would you? No, we would want to keep sharing the news of that product that we were selling. Maybe it was clean, clear, perfectly beautiful water. We would want the whole world to know about our water, right? Our whole city. So we keep talking. It's called income producing activities. Now, I do want to mention this. Let's go back to this a second. And let's say people ask me this and call me with this a lot. And they say, well, you know what? I'm going to help my sister become a manager. I say, all right, can I ask you a question? Does your sister want to do the business? Well, no, she doesn't want to do the business. But I figure if I can help her do the business, she may want to do it, and she'll see money back in her office. I'm just going to have a really honest conversation with you. I have never seen that work because we do not enable people, number one. I did that with another network marketing company because I wanted my family to be blessed abundantly. And I thought, if they can just see the money, they will hop on this and work this business. And let me tell you, so what I did was I gave them leads. I put everybody that wanted to come in. I gave them the signups, everything, because of the way that structure was. And guess who made the money? And they did do nothing. And I was doing all the work. So here, bottom line is, keep the people for yourself and keep building 2020. Keep this going. 20 people on the left, 20 people on your right. If your sister comes in and you put her over here, great. But you know what? If she does not want to build the business or does not see the opportunity for the moment, that's okay. She's in the tree. She's in a really great spot. This is what also I found out is when we have a tendency just to give everything away, there's no value on it. And so people will think, well, you know, they didn't have to even spend whatever on that product or on the business. And I've even had people do this. They've built people to manager, and then they've got hundreds of dollars sitting back there, and they have no desire to ever go back and set their e-wallet up. And I've had people tell me, I do not want a 1099 at the end of the year. I'm not interested. No. So why in the world would I put people underneath them? I won't. Now, what I will do is if I put Sally Sue over here on the right, and Sally Sue brings me people, and she says, you know what, my friend wants to get the product. Great. I will have the conversation with Sally, and I say, Sally, let me ask you a question. Is this something that now that you've been using the product and you're talking to people, is it something that you would like to earn money at? You would like to get the thank you? Sally will ask me questions. She'll be interested, or she'll say, I don't want nothing to do with the business. No, I'm just helping. I just want to bring them to you and get you the product, get the product for them. Perfect. I will put their friend, enroll them in the same leg that Sally is on. But now I have given Sally that opportunity because I am very business. I'm a business. This is a business to me. It is a phenomenal business. But I have learned a lot in my past experience with network marketing but I always make sure Sally knows, Sally, you could earn this amount of money right now. Are you interested? And if she says, well, you know what, yeah, then I'll make sure we sign them up under Sally. But if Sally says, no, I do not want nothing, I just want to use a product. I love it. I just will give you, you know what? I'm going to give Sally a thank you. What is that? Well, if her friend signed up with the silver, I might send her 10 patches of an X39. So she has some extra patches. I always am grateful, and I will always give back if people are, sending me leads, because you will have those people that just are going to bring you leads and they don't want to do the business. Now, what happens if, 6 months down the road, things change for Sally? And you might say, well, if I would have put them underneath her, but you know what? We had the conversation. It's a business conversation. Okay. Sally will be just fine, because you know what? The friends that she brought you, that she did not want the right now money, none of that, they're in her line, and everybody's going to be helping everybody. Now, that's how I roll, because all of you know that's ever worked with me, this is a business, and I treat it as a business. I treat it as it is phenomenal, and I want everybody to win, and I want everybody to be helped. So I always do the right for everyone. But I see this a lot. And then what happens is, you know what, you put Sally up here and you go, I'm just going to give her all these names. So you help her get 4 people. And then over here on your 2020, you have maybe 3 people, and your structure is very shallow. What do I mean by that? Let's go back to director. So you have to have 3 people on your left that you've personally sponsored, silver above with auto ships. You have to have 3 people on the right, silver above with auto ships. But if you only have 3, and then you help one of those get to direct or manager on the left and the right, what happens if one of those people decide to go to Iceland for 6 months and they don't need an auto ship? You will not hold rank, because you have such a solid, or I'm sorry, a shaky foundation. You do not have a solid foundation. This here, let me go back. I love pictures. This 20 on your left, 20 on your right will give your structure, your personal structure, a really great foundation. You won't have to worry if this person right here goes to Iceland for 6 months and turns their auto ship off. You will not have to worry, because you have enough people on your left and right leg that you have personally sponsored that's going to hold your structure together. And we always talk about shore up your structure, get a strong structure. And we do that by continually sponsoring people on our left and our right, on our left, on our right, and then helping them, not giving them away, but helping them do the same thing that we teach. And that's what Onyx taught me 2.5 years ago. That's the same thing I do today. So I want to really encourage you, get your structure strong. When your structure, here's the other thing about your structure. When your structure is strong and solid, okay, and remember what I said, you're working on 20 on the left, 20 on the right. When you get to those ranks of director, senior director above, the volume is going to be there to keep those structures and points intact, to keep your rank so it doesn't go down that month, that week. Okay. So build a strong foundation. And that's how we do it. All right. I've had people call me and say, I'll give you this example. So I had a person come in, it's been earlier this year, and they're in sales, and they just, they're not really present. In other words, they don't show up. They don't show up to calls. They don't show up to trainings, but I'm always here to help them. And, I've called them, told them how we do the business. I'll get people on the phone. I will do 3-way calls with you, blah, 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 blah. Well, we all know we are good listeners, aren't we? Become a good listener. Every conversation is different. So I get this call. Now, they've never called me to do a three-way call. They don't get on trainings. They're not present. They don't show up, but they want to do the business, which I'm not sure how that's ever going to happen. But okay, maybe they know something I don't know yet. But I do know that you got to show up. Anyway, so they called me and they said, well, now they're on one of my legs. So they see people coming down, right? They're on one of my legs. So they see stuff happening underneath them and they've got a lot of points built up, but they don't have nothing on their other leg because they've done nothing. And so they called me and they said, well, gee whiz, you know what? I see all this activity on my one leg, but can't you give me something on the other leg? And I thought, well, this is interesting. I'm like, well, first, I'm not going to enable people. And secondly, you have a lot of contacts. And I said, well, that's not how we do things. That's bad behavior in my book. But I said, you need to talk to people. And, they just didn't understand it because and yet they're in sales. I don't know what the connection was not happening, but I said, no, we don't build underneath people. Now, some people might have said, well, I feel sorry for them and I need to start. Listen, they have a phone full of contacts, I guarantee. And if they would just do the simple system, guess what? Their legs, they would start sponsoring people. That's how it works. But if you're not going to talk, if you're not going to do three ways with this, and you're out there trying to figure it out and reinvent the wheel, you're going to struggle. So that's why I tell them all the time. I did a big training for a team last week, and I just said, someone asked me, what new things are we going to talk about? And I just thought, well, for the last 2.5 years, I just keep it simple, and we just keep talking about the same things, encouraging people, because here's the thing is, if you want the trips, if you want to build a team, if you need a lot of money, if you need little money, show up. Bring your team to Saturday trainings, the Monday and Wednesday night podcast that Alex does. Bring new people to it. That is a phenomenal way to grow your team. And you don't have to do anything except sit there on Zoom with them and watch and then call them back. So we have such great tools in place. So, and the other thing I will just mention real quick here is we are finding our footing for verbiage, aren't we? And I wanted to keep reiterating this so it helps people. Don't get all freaked out if you happen to say the word stem cell. They're not going to come and deregister. They're not listening to you on your phone. Just keep going forward. We're doing the best we can. We're working on documents. I know the quantum field website, Build 331, is still working on documents. My team's still working on documents. And we're all trying to find our footing on what we can say, right? The important thing is social media, Facebook. If you're doing a public event, just start, being really careful at trying not to say those words and with stem cells and all that. But you know what? Don't be so freaked out. It stops you. I have had people say, well, you know what? I don't like change, but you know what? Change is good. Think of all the essential oil companies and all the health and wellness companies that had this happen to them and they had to change their verbiage. It didn't stop their sales. Oh my goodness. The only one that's going to stop you is, guess who? You. That's the only way that it's going to stop, is if you decide to say, all right, you know what? I don't like this. Well, you know what? Embrace change, because change is good. So don't be all freaked out. Just know that, hey, and even if you did happen to post something, let's just say on a social media platform, and corporate did see it and it was not in compliance, they're just going to say, hey, this needs to be changed. They're not going to just deregister you and kick you out. They're not that way. And they know that we're all learning and working. So I just want to encourage you all too, because a lot of people are really concerned. And, but just be yourself, go out and have fun. Have fun. Don't, we don't have to know everything. You know, as you all have heard me over and over and over, I have a lot of knowledge. I have a notebook full of notes from David, lots of good nuggets. But guess what? When I'm talking to someone, they probably get bored because it's the same thing over and over and over and over if I'm working with someone. But that's how easy it is. Keep it simple. Simple, 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 duplicate. And always remember this. What you are doing with that brand new person, you're duplicating. So keep it simple, plug in. And I know you're someone probably thinking, oh my gosh, I hear this all the time. Well, if you had a water store and it was all set up beautiful and you had a system from the company and or even a McDonald's French fries, and no, I don't eat at McDonald's, but I use it as an example. They will tell you how many pickles you have to put on that same hamburger. It's not 3, it might be 2. It's not 4, it might be 2. And it's for purposes and reasons. And it's the same thing that Onyx has given us. We focus on the 39. We focus on the 39. Why? Because if you think about it, I don't care whatever any symptom or person is dealing with, think about the first thing that that body could use and be helped with, the X39. Because you will find stem cells everywhere, everywhere. And when the body can just start increasing that peptide, things happen. We're not going to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent diseases. We're just going to talk about the technology and how incredible it is. And that's what I want to encourage you all. Stick with the technology. When people, oh, I get texts every day. My friend has la, 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 or this person has la, 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 la. What patches shall I get? And I can just literally copy and paste it into that text message, X39, 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 X39. That's where we start, X39. So it's very simple. Keep it simple. The other thing I will say, just to help people stay focused, because we are in a phenomenal place with where we are in the calendar year, in the fall, going into December and the holidays. Listen, teams explode in November and December, and they just rocket ship up because, and this is with network marketing companies, this is it's a growth season in network marketing. So embrace it. All right. Don't think, oh my gosh, everybody's going to Thanksgiving, so now I stop working. When I came into the company 2.5 years ago, I went in, I didn't even think about the holidays coming in. I just kept talking to people and signing them up, talking to people and signing them up. Don't prejudge, because if you start prejudging, they'll go, oh, well, they can't afford it. Well, they can't afford it. Holiday. Stop it. They can afford it. They want it. Do you know how many people need this product? Oh my goodness, you have a gift. Don't hide your gift under a bushel. Let the world see it. Let everyone see it, and let them make up their minds. You know, some people, I know this from past experience, bought it for themselves for Christmas. They said, you know what, this is going to be my Christmas present. So you just, and you'll have a lot of times moms and dads will get this for their kids for, you know, Christmas, or a loved one or a mom or something. So don't prejudge. We're going into the holiday season. Let them decide for themselves. So anyway, I just wanted to come on, as again, Onyx asked me to come in today to share a little bit so people understood how to earn those trips. Those trips are amazing, easy. Everyone can get to senior director. And here's the other thing I want to say. You might be brand new and you think, I don't know if I could achieve it. Listen, reach out to us, reach out to your sponsor, reach out to your manager, reach out to one of your leaders above you, and let them help you and work with you and show you, okay, here's what you need to do in the nooks and crannies of your life. Okay. Because you may be working 2 jobs and you might be thinking, how am I ever going to do this? Listen, leverage your time. We have tools that we can leverage time. We have Zooms that we can do for you. We have, if you know, you can gather people in a coffee shop or in your living room. I love doing that because I would much rather talk to 6 people at a time than 1, right? So and then three-way calls. All of these are tools in our box. All these are tools that we use to build our business. So wherever you are, reach out to us. We will help you. We will show you and we'll give you ideas. We'll give you thoughts on taking those tools and working in it with your schedule and your life. Because again, that's what I love about this. It's working it in the nooks and crannies, especially if you're very busy. So with that being said, I know we're a little bit, we have about 10 minutes left, but that's really everything that I have for you today. And again, plug into the YouTube, Quantum Field YouTube. That's where the recordings are. Plug into Build 331. That's where our tools are. And plug into the trainings, because when you show up, your team shows up, and guess what? Now you're duplicating. You're duplicating everything that works. And that is where success lies. Again, if you had a McDonald's franchise, if you would go to McDonald's University, I guarantee it, and they're going to show you everything that you need to do to have a successful business. And let me tell you, you paid more than $500 or $1,600 for that business. And they're going to tell you exactly what you need to do to be successful. And you will stay focused and you will do exactly what works. That's how it works. And that's how this business works. And we have only just begun. 75 countries. And remember this, South Korea is about to open. So be thinking, who do you know in South Korea, or some of the people that you're working with already, who do you know that is in South Korea? That is going to be a humongous market, and it will literally accentuate or explode businesses vertical. A big market for multi-level marketing. We can't do anything yet, but you can be talking to people. Who do you know? So that's getting ready to happen. Again, the 20th year anniversary is coming up. And I know that corporate has some really great things in store this year for all of us. And I'm very, very, very excited about that. So with that being said, I know I'm early, but that's really everything I wanted to share with you today. Again, it's so simple. Keep it simple. And you know what? Go have fun. When you have fun with this, I'll just say this before I leave. You know, many of us have been kind of shut down the last couple of years, right? We've been in our home. We've not really done a lot of stuff and people are moving around again. And, you know, people just seem to need that community, and people want to have fun. They want to be around somebody that's positive and has something good to contribute to life, right? But when they see you having fun, think about this. When you go out and talk to your friend and they are like, you know what? They're positive, they're excited, their life is good, blah, blah, blah. You want to hang around them. Like, you know what? And they could tell you about a restaurant that just opened up, and by gum, you'll be going to that restaurant within the next couple of days. Go out, have fun. We have two gifts. We have the gift of the technology and the gift of the business, and share it with everyone. So with that being said, I don't want to keep you any longer. We're going to close a few minutes early today, but Monday night, we'll have another training, or not a training, a podcast with Alex. She's doing fantastic. Bring your team. And then we will see you on the cruise. We'll see you on the Greek Island cruise, Cancun, Mexico. And then, of course, there is another one for if you're SPDs, you can get on the Elite trip. I didn't talk about that, but I think if you're an SPD, you can definitely get there. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody. Have a fantastic week. And we have another day and a half left to this week. And then we're going to start next week off with another great area. So thank you all. Thank you all. Again, if you need help, reach out to us. Let us help you. Let us customize your map to fit your where you are in life and in your time frame. So with that being said, I'll let you all go. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you all soon. Bye-bye, everyone.